Dallas. So we're going to do Pop Century in a little bit, but I'm going to try. My apologies. I have my iPad the wrong way.
Hey guys, what's up?
So I welcome it. Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
I mentioned you earlier on. So
Happy to be here.
I'm going to grab, I got some questions here. So
Yeah.
guys, the facility here is amazing. I know I've talked about Leaf a lot as we've done the breaks over the past few months. The ability to be able to do what I can for you guys. Leaf's been a great partner with it, so thank you very much. I said it earlier.
You're welcome.
So, and like we did Trinity last week, the products and stuff they're doing are amazing.
Appreciate that.
So, first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell us about Leaf as a whole. I know people are excited, but
yeah, for sure. So my name is Josh Panko. I've been at Leaf now for about 3 years. I'm the president, run the day-to-day. We have an amazing team here, about 40 full-time employees. We do everything in-house except for actually printing the cards. I was showing them a little tour of the back. So we collate everything by hand. We put all the stickers on the cards. We put all the cards in top loaders or in whatever case. So we try and be as hands-on as possible to make sure that the experience for the end consumer is as clean and as good as possible. So we do kind of everything in the sports card realm and just trading cards in general. We do a lot of Pop Century, as you'll see today. We do all different sports, multi-sports. We do some oddball stuff, pickleball, bowling. We're doing lacrosse cards in the future, power slap. So we do a little bit of everything. Jeremy, it is a lot of fun. Although it's fun for like the first 100 cases, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I have to do this 800 times. And then it gets a little less fun, but it is fun. I mean, to complain about having to, pick which cards go in a case, it's that's not a tough life for sure.
When we were taking the tour, we were watching them. They're stickering, like the people they have here are stickering cards, and some are collating them as they're going in for the product releases. It's amazing in that sense. So
some of them we watch sign. Some of them we have a representative there or the agent there as the person representing or witnessing the autograph signing. Typically, we do request either a video or pictures of them signing the stickers or the affidavit, just to make sure everything's on the up and up for sure.
Yeah, we're going to go through some questions here as well.
Absolutely.
But first of all, so today's release, we'll have it on Tuesday, guys. The case is being delivered to my house today. Pro Set Football. I know we talked about it earlier. I know there a lot of the promotion has been towards going into some of those auto combos you don't see. I know for me, Pop Century, this links into. We had the Dan Marino, Sean Young dual auto from Ace Ventura. But go over, if you can, a little bit of what's coming up, what we're looking for in Pro Set Football.
So Pro Set Metal is our next football release, which we're very excited about. One thing that it has that nothing else we've done so far is it has a lenticular card. And for those of you that aren't 100% sure, that's kind of like a 3D effect card. So when you move it, it has motion in it. So you get one of those in every box, which we're very excited about. There's 7 autographs and 4 base in every box. The autograph checklist is derived from NIL high school, NIL college, draft, current pros, and retired, and with a little sprinkle of Pop Century in there with some cool multis. It does not come with Kellogg's Corn Flakes. I love that, though. They were one of the first to do lenticular back in the day. But yeah, so it's a fun release. It's very affordable. It's got an amazing checklist. Again, it has Jaden Daniels, it has Caleb Williams, but then it's got Joe Namath, it's got Joe Montana. So there's so much to chase, and it really is fun for football fans. What I love about it is we're really trying to start the idea of prospecting football, where you buy some of these guys in high school that are the next big stars in college and then in the pros. And those are the guys, maybe you buy a case, you sell off the pros that you have or the retired guys, and you keep some of these young guys. And in a year, 6 months, 2 years, those cards are going to be super valuable for sure.
When we were talking about that, I hadn't actually thought of it from the prospect end of actually prospecting like we would in Bowman. It's a smart way to think, especially now in the current market conditions that we're in, because football's never really been like that. It's always whatever until we get the rookie card in
Correct.
pro.
Correct.
But now, obviously with the push with NIL, it allows us to be able to do more in terms of actually getting the guys before they get to that point, because the value is there with it. Even as a college guy, especially your Heisman guys, or even guys you may say, hey, they're a freshman, but let's see what happens when they get to junior, senior year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we saw that with Jaden Daniels as a perfect example. We signed him back when he was at Arizona State. His autographs were selling on eBay for $5 to $10. No one really cared. Lo and behold, he transfers to LSU, wins the Heisman. Now he's the number 2 pick, and now he's a $100 autograph, if not more. So that's something that we look at as in the future. That's going to happen again for sure. The question about do we ever have extra cards from packing? Typically, we do have a little bit of extra cards. Usually those go into our quality control or our customer service batch, where if we need to replace a damaged card, that's typically what those are used for.
So a question that I got earlier, I just pulled up from my Discord. The guys on Discord, some here, some not, they threw out some questions. And then I think this is a good one, actually, because you and I today have talked a lot about the current situation, the current state of the hobby, I guess, per se. Where do you see Leaf in the next 5 years as the landscape of trading cards in the hobby has changed, even over the past, let's just go pandemic, pre-pandemic, about 2 years?
That is a great question. One of the things we're really focusing on is pop culture. We feel like that's something that, we've been doing it for a long time. We started doing Pop Century in 2010. So, this is the 14th year, 15th year of us doing that. That's something that we feel like has even more legs because there's not as much of that out there. We're really trying to do more inscriptions. We love doing that. We're starting to do a little bit more on card for sure, where you can have at least a variation of the person on card. Maybe they signed some stickers and some on card. But we're really focusing on things that set us apart. Multisport is something that we continue to focus on because the reality is nobody else can do multisport. So how cool is it to have a card with Lionel Messi and Shohei Ohtani on the same card?
Bingo.
And nobody else can do that. So we really focus on that. And again, we continue to focus on the draft side of baseball, the draft side of football. I think in 5 years, our hope, honestly, is just that we are kind of on the same track, just a little bit bigger, where we're doing a little bit more. We are doing some deals directly with some TV shows and movies. So that's something that we hope to continue to build on over the next 4 or 5 years, where we are signing some deals with some movie studios where we can have a set coming out each year for a film like John Wick, so to speak, where you can have a couple different sets for each film, and then as they come out with more films, TV shows, we can have sets around that. So I think that's one of the things that's kind of different about Leaf than before. Before, a year ago, we really weren't doing any licensing. Now we're definitely doing it, not only on that, but some smaller sports as well. Bull riding, bowling. We just signed the National Lacrosse League, Power Slap. So we're definitely starting to look at some smaller licenses on the sports side. And those are things, quite frankly, that we're doing that I think are just fun. Look, we're not trying to make 10,000 cases of these and just overrun the market, but I think they're fun products. They bring in, this is something we talked about, they bring in more collectors in general, because somebody that watches Power Slap might not know about other Leaf cards. So, it'd be pretty cool to be able to bring more people in for sure.
John Wick signed by Keanu and Aaron Rodgers.
That's funny.
Lord. I like this comment. Where was it? Ryan said it, like a pop culture directed to youth, because it is a different market than people like you and me.
We've done some people that are directed more towards the youth for sure. For example, we did a lot of rappers, and that was directed more towards a lot of the younger collectors. We've done some social media influencers, which is, I would say, catered more towards the younger collectors. I don't know that we'd ever do a standalone product that was only geared towards that. But one thing that I love about Pop Century is that it really focuses on everything. It's TV shows, it's movies. You've seen politicians in there, you've seen rappers, you've seen artists, we put an astrophysicist in there. So it's really a just huge mix of all kinds of different people that, quite frankly, some of them are famous for good reasons, and some of them are famous, like we were talking about, we did Haktua cards. She's famous for something kind of silly, but like anybody that's famous that kind of fits that mold, we really try and go after and put them in product. Every card isn't for everyone, and we can appreciate that. We don't expect everyone to want a Haktua card or everyone to want a Neil deGrasse Tyson card. But the reality is that somebody wants all of them. There's at least some collectors for every card we do. My favorite SIG in the set, being totally transparent, my uncle does have autographs in there. So
Really?
Yeah. So my uncle is John Panko.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was on Mad About You.
Yeah.
And funny, we go to spring training every year for the Cubs.
Okay.
And so last year we went, and I pitched the idea before. I was like, hey, do you want to have cards?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what that means. Like, a lot of actors and actresses don't really understand trading cards.
Yep.
All the athletes do. But so I told him, like, well, we'll give you a couple dollars per autograph, and then, when we go to the casino at night, you have some gambling money. And he's like, wait, all I have to do is sign these stickers? So yeah, so he had a card in last year's Pop Century, and then this year he has a duel with Alec Baldwin from a movie they were in together.
Love it.
So that's probably, in my heart, my favorite. Admittedly, my favorite signer in there is Margot Robbie, for sure.
Yeah.
That was a big deal for us to get an autograph deal with her. And it was just really cool for us to be able to pull that off.
Yep.
And then we were told that at the signing, she had a friend over, and they drank some wine and just signed our stickers and had a good time. Like, the idea of, thinking about that night, like, that's just kind of funny to me. Like, Margot Robbie's sitting there with a friend signing Leaf stickers.
With like a glass of red wine.
Right,
like
exactly.
There. It's like, because you see it, like I see it with wrestling. Like I've seen when they sign, it's like they've got, like we're all on the road, and we get herded into a conference room, and they just lay the sheets down and sign them. And it's like, all work, but it's like, I can laugh and just do like with a beer or something, and just sign some stickers. There was a question that asked, what about something with me?
Yeah,
I
have
have no contracts to anyone, like, and I have a bunch of refuse shirts, like I can give you guys.
That's funny.
Like, I'll do it for cheap for you guys to do it, because I think there's a market for ref stuff too, because especially now that with the Triple H with WWE, there was a big trend for a few years where they made the refs nameless.
Okay.
Because they're supposed to be the focus.
Yeah.
But they're back to where, like, each match they're naming the refs out front.
Yeah.
Like, they're like people, and then your diehards know who we are.
Right.
Too. So, like I feel like when I got my rookie card in the independence that I was telling you about, I was over the moon, because the owner of the promotion came up. He's like, have you ever had a card with us? And I said, no, I've never had a card, period. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, this will be your rookie. I was like, yeah. He's like, you're in the next set.
That's cool.
And I was over the moon, because I was collecting. I'm like, this is amazing. As a collector, I finally get my own rookie card, and for me, like Impact TNA put me in a couple of cards in the last couple sets. Like the last one before we parted ways, and then I was in one a year later from a pay-per-view when I was still there. Yeah. So I have those graded. That's cool. I have them graded and sitting in my studio. Awesome. Yeah. So
Bill Rich, about the bounties. I'm gonna just be real honest with you guys. Those are just marketing scams. I hate to say it. All those bounties, in my opinion, are just coming from people that either own a lot of the product or people that are trying to sell them a lot of the product. None of those bounties are for real. Like, it's not like there's actually a real buyer for these cards typically. It's just somebody that is trying to pump up. I mean, I saw like that, and look, I don't want to badmouth Fanatics too much, but they did that triple card with LeBron, Curry, and Durant.
Yeah.
There's one autograph. One. And they sold like 600,000 cards.
Yep.
Now, I have to believe that a vast majority of people that bought that, because they got an article on ESPN and they had a bounty out for the card and all that. It's just a marketing gimmick. And look, I give them credit. They sold a lot of cards. That's cool. But that kind of feels like the wrong reason to me.
Yeah, I agree.
It feels like we're misleading the end consumer. Yeah. Because you look at the listing, and if they're going to make 666,000 cards, whatever they made, and there's one autograph, like, that's the card they show everybody. So, like, everybody's thinking, I might buy 100. Maybe I'll get it. Like, okay, maybe you will, but
you're going to end up with 100 base cards.
Right. You're going to have a bunch of base cards that are worth $1. Yep. So, I mean, look, I think, unfortunately, those are just part of the collectibles side that's been a little bit of that's been going on forever. And look, there's plenty of people. I wouldn't say that you're a sucker for the chase. The reality is with that is the chase price was really affordable. I think the cards were $7 or something. So, I don't have a problem with people buying them. The thing is somebody goes on there and buys 1,000 and is thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get it. They sold it was like 10 times more than they've ever sold of any card.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Nothing else. I don't. Most cards never even hit 100,000. They hit like 675,000.
Jim, exactly. Transparency and integrity.
We are very transparent here at Leaf.
Yes.
There's really not a question that we won't answer. We're not going to plead and just beat around it. I would say we're very anti-political these days, because politicians get answered questions and they never really answer them. So we really try and answer them as best as we can.
What's up, E-Mart?
Is it tough to keep athlete deals when they become big players? 100%. As they make more money, it is significantly more difficult to deal with them a lot of the times. That's part of the reason why, honestly, we're starting to get deals with some of these kids when they're in high school or college. build a relationship with them. And then the hope is that when they're big time, they still remember that we cared about them when other people didn't. And that happened with Jaden Daniels. I was telling you the story that Jaden Daniels' mom actually reached out to us and asked if we wanted to do a card deal with him as he got drafted, because we were the first ones to do a card of him when he was at Arizona State. So it didn't matter. Like, if we had never done that first deal, and quite frankly, the first deal didn't make any sense for us because nobody cared about him then. But it made sense later. And so investing in some of these people when they're younger, investing in an actor, we try and do that. We try and go after some of these actors and actresses as they're young and say, hey, we'll do an autograph deal with you. Hopefully when you're the next Margot Robbie, you'll remember us and still maybe want to do a deal.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. There's one I liked, and I think you guys probably do something like this. Someone said, would you ever consider doing a special pack such as like the White Sparkle concept for Pop Century?
We've thought about doing that. Honestly, the White Sparkle, and look, it was a great idea. It took off really because of the rookie card chase and not because of the autograph chase. All the autographs in White Sparkles were always one of ones. So you were buying those packs because a White Sparkle of LeBron James would sell for $2,000. We know that we're not going to get that same value. What we do a little bit of is kind of similar to the first off the line where we might have a special parallel. Like we did that with this where there was a Code Red parallel. Every box was a normal Pop Century box, but then it had an additional Red Flood one-of-one autograph.
I remember that.
So we did that. That's probably more along the lines that we would do. I don't know that we'd ever do a White Sparkle thing, just because I don't know that it would resonate. Like, nobody wants a Margot Robbie baseball.
Hockey, you do the Emerald edition.
We do Emerald in hockey and baseball. Like we did Emerald for lumber, and those seem to do well. And we've done red, white, and blue for some of the metal products.
Like the Halloween, the Halloweens that was all numbered to 3 or less.
Yeah, we do. We're starting to do more around the holidays because people really seem to like that. Like we did Independence Day, and to me it was really fun because we put some people in there that actually had. We put some of the hot dog eaters like that always. We put Bill Pullman because he was in Independence Day. So like MJF, some of them are just Hogan, Lionel Messi because he sells for a lot. But then some of them are people that are really kind of around that holiday. We do a bunch of the horror. Autographs in Halloween because those make sense. Or on Christmas, Chevy Chase and Peter Billingsley and some of the people that were in Christmas type of movies. So it makes it fun. We did a St. Patrick's one where there were Notre Dame players, Boston Celtic players, because it's not really the same as St. Patrick's, but it's green.
You lean into it,
right? So it's fun
for me as someone because a lot of those were in online exclusives. I think for like the number to 3s. Like
Correct. Yep.
Is there ever? And this is from my end as someone with a direct account. Is there ever going to be a push to try to make that to where like we can get it on allocation?
For sure. So what we've talked about is making some products that are more just for direct accounts only. Where they can buy something that's similar to that, where the numbering is very low.
Like Leaf Wrestling, like Leaf Legends Wrestling is a good example of that.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that we've talked about for sure. The biggest problem with production on stuff like that, honestly, is that it takes the same amount of time internally to make a set, whether you make 100 cases or 1,000 cases. So you got to make sure it makes sense just from a financial standpoint.
I like Mike's question here, just because you talk about like trying to build and foster the hobby. So any type of franchise agreement where a Leaf booth could be at smaller card shows, because obviously we have the national and that sort of thing, but a lot of it from the hobbies we're building to is a lot of the local card shows. Now, obviously you can't make it to every card show, but like, I can tell you like from St. Louis's end, we have runs, I think every other month, but then we have 3-day show, which is like mid-April or mid-May. It's no later than like the week from Memorial Day. It's a big 3-day show. We have people that come from Dallas. We have people that come from out from not West Coast, but like Kansas and Colorado and a little bit of East Coast. Like, so in terms of trying to build the hobby, like, is that something?
So we actually now, about 2 months ago, we started in a partnership with the Dallas Card Show. So we sponsor that now. We are actually for the first time ever, the next Dallas Card Show, which I believe is the weekend after Labor Day. There's going to be a special Paul Skeens promo card that you can only get by going to the show. So we're starting to do a little bit more of that with them. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that we look into more partnerships with other card shows like that, where we could do something where it's kind of sponsored by Leaf, where it has promo cards, or where another thing we did at the Dallas Card Shows one time, we just went and anybody that had Leaf cards in their showcase, we gave them freebies. So something like that, where I don't know that we'd have booths at these shows, but certainly a presence where maybe someone is walking around handing out freebies, just building the brand.
I like it.
Do I collect? So I do collect. What I collect is Pop Century stuff.
Yeah.
So I collect non-sport autographs. So admittedly, I have a ton of non-leaf cards in my collection. I have the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man card.
Yes.
I have a bunch of Harry Potter.
Yep.
Got a bunch of Star Wars. I do have a bunch of Pop Century stuff as well.
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. I've got the Emilia Clarke Mother of Dragon inscription.
Have you seen the new Game of Thrones set that just came out?
The House of the Dragon,
Yeah.
yeah. I've started buying a little bit of those.
Yeah.
I'm actually friends with Steve, who owns Rittenhouse.
Okay, yeah.
Great guy, very passionate about the products they put out, and you can really feel it with their products, and I respect them a lot.
Yeah.
You know, they put out products that cater to the collectors.
Yes.
And Steve is not. I can tell you firsthand from getting to know him, he's not greedy. He's not out there just trying to make as much money as he can. He's trying to put out sets. And he's making a decent living,
yeah.
But he's putting out sets that resonate with the collectors. And so we can see that and learn from that a lot when we start doing movie franchise stuff. We can't just, make as much as we can. We got to make it where it actually resonates with the fans of the shows or the movies.
Yeah, but I think that also can parallel into Pop Century. Like for me, as
Go
someone,
Irish.
Yes. So it's like someone me who like I've read Pop Century before,
Yep.
and this year was my first head dive in, so I started collecting it.
Sure.
Stuff like old school TV collectors like the Barbara Eden
Yep.
cards, or for me
Yep.
like the Animal House duel I told you
For
I
sure.
have, or even like outside the movie ticket stubs.
Yep.
So I want to know this. So you had the National Lampoons, just regular vacation in
Yep.
this year. Has there been a thought of like going to like Christmas vacation like next year?
Yeah, so
you tried to branch out.
It's funny,
like,
we actually
those ticket stubs like were really cool. I think they like way better than just like, okay, it's great to pull the Chevy Chase just the base auto version. But those movie ticket stubs for me hit so well this year.
For sure. So all that credit goes to Greg Cohn, who's the head of our product development. He is the most wildly creative man in the industry. And the amount of effort he puts into these shows or into these cards, in addition to the fact that his memory is, it's incredible. Like, we'll all be joking, oh, what'd you do last night? I watched a movie, or I watched the TV show, whatever. He's like, oh, I pulled up the 1983 ALCS. The Padres had to get, like, what? Like, who watches this?
That's a throwback.
It's crazy. So he can tell you all these old players, who they played for, how many games they played, all this stuff. So he's very knowledgeable about that. We try and make it more creative, because the reality is if you just put a bunch of autographs and they're all the same, why do you need to buy them all? So we try and make themed inserts. We try and make stuff like in Press Pass Football.
Yep.
One of the really cool things that I think people didn't catch on as much as we wanted to, and I think later on it might. But there's a die cut set where you can put all three of them together. So
really?
the die cuts go together to form like one almost jumbo card.
Okay.
Which is really pretty cool. So it's just something different, And look, everybody doesn't love it. Everybody doesn't have to love everything we do. The reality is that as long as everybody doesn't hate it, which occasionally you have that, but usually there's at least some people that like what we do.
If there's a question here, if you could do one set of cards that you don't do currently, what would it be?
Oh God, question. It would probably resonate with some of these. Music is something that we probably haven't dove into as much yet.
Yeah.
We've talked about doing some sets with some bands.
Okay.
So that's something that's potentially in the works.
Okay.
Panini announced the Rolling Stones
Yep.
set, which is really cool. And we actually, to be honest, we looked at that.
Yeah.
The issue is Mick Jagger won't sign autographs. So we heard, this is, I guess, off the record, but on the record now, that he only signed 3 autographs for that product.
Yeah.
And so we really don't want to just build a product around all base cards.
Yeah.
There can be base cards for sure, but we want to have there to be some chase. But yeah, I think some of our dream set would be more music driven, because that's really one thing that we haven't focused on a lot. I'd love to somehow get, Elton John or Bono or, Chris Martin or Taylor Swift or, some of these big names.
The Swift, Pop Century had the cut on it.
Yep, for sure.
I noticed that. I know there's been a dive towards that. But yeah, music's something that's really not really ever been touched.
It hasn't been touched in a huge way, for sure. KPAC, funny you say that. So we have a guy here who has worked at Beckett for a long time as a grader, and he reamed us for making the back corners black. So going forward, we will try and do a better job of making everything white. Just because, look, we don't want everything to be a PSA 10, but we don't want everything to be a PSA 8 either.
Yeah. I can say as a collector, for me, especially with Pop, is the quality control you guys have, I especially with when I was ripping a lot of pop, because I graded like the Chevy Chase, or I graded the Flare that I have. Like the quality control, the care you take with QC with it to where at least it's got a fighting chance.
For sure.
Because you're going to catch a grader on the wrong
QC
day.
We QC everything twice internally. Now, the printer QCs everything as well, but the reality is, and again, not a knock on Panini and Fanatics, they never see the cards once they send them to the printer.
Yeah.
So if the printer does a bad job QCing it, they're not a part of it.
Yeah.
So when we get the cards from the printer, we QC them before we collate them and sticker them. So we QC them once then, and then after they're stickered, a lot of times I'll go back there, or Greg will go back there, and I don't catch everything, but we'll look through, oh, there's a smeared auto, pull it out. Oh, there's a card with a bad corner, pull it out. So we really try and QC it. Some stuff still is going to slip through the cracks. But I think for the most part, we do a pretty good job of pulling out anything that we see is devastatingly bad.
We're humans, we're all fallible.
For sure.
Going to be perfect.
For sure.
So but this is a question for me, just notice this. So Pop Century's got the hard boxes with the top off case.
Correct.
After Pop, everything's been the bigger boxes with the pull out and the smaller box. Why the packaging change?
So we have a couple different packaging. First of all, the Pop Century will stay in this.
Okay.
So anything over a price point of around $200 is going to stay in the hard two-piece box.
Okay.
Once it gets over about $350, it's going to have its own unique box.
Like Magnificent in history book.
Yep, and there's one coming out. Decadence Multisport comes out in about 3 weeks. So that box opens up and the cards actually pop up.
Oh, that's
so the cards actually.
Oh man!
Like, all you have to do is open the box, and the cards like shoot up.
You're gonna make me open.
It's really cool.
You're gonna make me open that Decadence case.
So to be look, we're transparent. The reality is for the smaller or for the less expensive items, the more affordable items, it was significantly cheaper to buy a ton of the black inner boxes and then buy a sleeve. Yeah. We don't, in our opinion, especially for boxes that are $100, $150. People don't want to keep the packaging. Yeah. They don't want to save it. So why spend? It's not a lot, but if we can save $1 a box, look, that's $12 a case that we can, or $10 a case that we can put into the autographs. Yeah. So it's just every a little bit helps. You know, you never know. We don't like to waste the dollars because then we're wasting the customer's dollars.
No, totally makes sense to me. I noticed it because I'm so used to the two-piece boxes because
we did that forever and we never changed anything.
Exactly.
And that's the other thing is we want there to be some differentiation in packaging. If you have 10 different Leaf products and they're different price points, they all shouldn't come in the same box.
The little blue with Magnificence. So we didn't rip Magnificence, guys, because I came late to the party once I got the direct account. So we were that ship had sailed for you guys from the date I had to get it in. But the box with the blue light, with the blue, I was like, this is great.
There were 50 gold lights. I don't know if you knew.
No, we haven't pulled a gold light yet in shop because I work on the Wednesday Friday stream.
Yep.
We hadn't got a gold light yet. We'd only seen blue light, so I actually was not aware of that.
The gold lights are hard to get. They're typically for the very rare one-of-one items. Yeah. There was a little misconception with that one, honestly, because people thought that they were just the 50 best cards in the product. But the reality was the 50 best cards in the product would have been pretty much the same cards because they would have been the multis with Messi and Curry. Yep. So we wanted to mix it up a little bit. So you might get a gold box that doesn't have a $4,000 hit, but they were all the one-of-one more unique cards.
And the fact that with I'm going to surface back on this because as someone who collects, like, I'm not a wildly big basketball fan. I'm newer to basketball because where I live, like, we didn't get teams on TV unless it was TNT. Yeah. So I lived about an hour to the northwest of Cincinnati. Okay. So we didn't get NBA in Cincinnati. We don't have an NBA team. Yeah. And I didn't get the Pacers because I was more than 100 miles away from Indianapolis. Okay. So for me, I'm a Johnny Come Lately. I also through Ryan in the shop. So I went to I got my first Giannis auto at the National. Yeah. So for me, prior to that, I'm looking like, okay, I want to try to pull a Giannis out of a Leaf or Messi. I'm looking for those guys that I want to collect because I'm not going to pay what a Topps auto is going to cost. That's not my thing, not my game. I'm not interested in it. But I do want one. And the way you guys have done it, make it to where where it is an affordable, affordable to try to go after it. Like, you know, my wife, when she chose the box with the Jaden Daniels Burrow, her and my dog, we jointly chose that box where I pulled the dual auto from out of Signature Series 101. Yeah. So that the fact that I can pull guys like that, you know, like a Burrow or a Daniels or, you know, let's go into lumber for a second. The fact that you had like Shoeless Joe and like a lot of these Babe Ruth, like all those old school, like the knobs where you did lumber. Yes, I said it to you earlier. I'm saying it again to you guys. I made a mistake. I didn't order enough. So that will be fixed next year. And that's a product that, like,
with Greg, that's a product that he truly massages for a year.
Yeah.
So we do it once a year. He's buying bats year round.
Yep.
He's thinking of ideas. And if you guys really take a look, and a lot of people don't really look at the intricacies of that product.
Yeah.
He'll have a card where he lists out how many grand slams everybody has,
Yep.
or how many career home runs they have.
It was the 100. It was
Yep.
the 100 was the insert set for that
Yep.
this year. I remember that.
Yep.
So there was a lot of that. But
He puts so much thought into these sets and into these products, and I think a lot of the times it does get overlooked. But when you really dig down deep, it's really cool. And Pop Century, the same thing, like the ticket stubs, the vinyl signs.
Yes, the vinyl signs, yep.
He did so much that was just, we could just make an insert or just make a base card, but the reality is again, you want to make it fun too.
Yes.
At the end of the day, this is all supposed to be fun.
Hero graphics.
Yep.
With Pop Century,
with a lot of the
triple and quad autos and stuff like that.
Yep.
So there's one product I want to see if there's anything previous into a Bronx Legacy.
Okay.
I've seen a couple of tweets you have about it.
Yeah.
We have some Yankee fans here specifically, but what do we look to expect out of Bronx Legacy this year?
So Bronx Legacy season 2 or edition 2, whatever you want to call it. It's good. Look, it's going to be somewhat similar to the first one, in that it's going to follow the same ideas. It's going to have Garrett cuts and Ruth cuts.
Yep.
That was one of the most amazing products last year because there were 300 cases and there were 3 Babe Ruth cuts. I mean, think about that for a minute. Like if Panini puts, or again, I hate to knock on them, but if they put 3 Babe Ruth cuts in a product, there'd be 10,000 cases, and you'd have almost no chance of getting it.
Yeah.
You've got a chance to get these. We've got some new signers, so there'll be some like Hideki Matsui's in there.
Okay.
We've got Rudy Giuliani's going to be in there, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because he was obviously very much tied to those 90s and early 2000 Yankees teams.
Yes, he was.
So we really try and get as many different cards to make it unique because we don't want it to be the exact same. It'll follow the same brand, but
take a look at that. Thicker cards with watch batteries that play a sound clip.
So we've talked about that. We actually, back in the day, Panini had a card called HRX, which if you haven't been in the hobby for too long, you may not know about it. It actually played a video clip of the player.
Okay.
And the coolest thing they did with this card, and this is something I would love to do, there were 10 copies that were autographed of each player.
Okay.
And in your video clip, you got a clip of him signing that card. Now that's insane, to have a card with a video clip of him actually signing that card.
That would be amazing.
Amazing.
If you think about it.
So those cards were oversized. They couldn't fit it on a normal card. They were probably about the size of a postcard.
Okay.
But that's definitely something that I think down the road, you never know, with sound clips, with, different lighting, with stuff like that. It's certainly possible. The issue you run into really is the lithium ion battery.
Yeah.
Because at some point that's going to die. You don't want to have to deconstruct a card to make it always give that sound.
So the ability to be able to keep it either like USB or USB-C rechargeable,
right, where you can charge it
without using lithium ion.
Right.
That's going to be the real key.
That's
when
tough,
you move something
for sure.
that is more subsistent long term, then it's going to die. I could fit that in a normal card with a charging port.
Yeah,
there you go.
And look,
that's
the other thing that's becoming more unique, obviously, is the wireless charging, where you just put it on a magnetic thing that charges. And maybe a trading card could have that, where it's got a video clip. I don't think it could be as thin as a card. It's going to have to be, like the thickness of an iPhone, maybe. Yeah. But if you did that and then you could charge it.
Booklet.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that's not out of the question. If you had your own Mount Rushmore with 4 autos. So, Exonerate, I'm going to give you 2 versions. Number 1 version is if I could have anyone in the world, whether they've had an autograph deal or not. And my Mount Rushmore for any 4, whether they've had an autograph deal or not, let's see. It would definitely be Daniel Day-Lewis is my number 1.
Okay.
No one's ever been able to get an autograph deal with him. I've got several photos that I have signed, but there's never been a card. He's my number 1 all time, but he's pretty much a recluse. He's going to be very difficult to get. Number 2, mine is mostly pop culture side. Number 2 would probably be, if they're not alive, it would be Akira Kurosawa, who is a Japanese director who made 7 Samurai, some very famous old movies that a lot of the American Westerns are tailored.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
He actually gave George Lucas the idea for Star Wars with a movie called Hidden Fortress.
Okay.
And a lot of people, your wife is shaking her head. So George Lucas actually paid for Kurosawa's last movie, which was Ron, because the Japanese government told him they wouldn't give him any more money, and George Lucas helped fund that movie. So I would say probably Kurosawa, Daniel Day-Lewis. On an athlete side, I'd have to put Griffey, because Griffey's the one who got me into all this.
Yep.
He was the one that I wanted to work at Upper Deck because of Griffey.
Yep.
And then the fourth one would be a soccer player, because I'm a big soccer guy. It would be Christian Pulisic.
Yeah.
Because he's the American that got me into soccer. In terms of the other one, let me cut you off real quickly. For Leaf, if they were all Leaf people, Margot Robbie, for sure. Anthony Hopkins, we just recently got him. And again, this would be all pop culture. Clint Eastwood. And then probably Joe Pesci.
Yes.
Like, I can't think of a better quad than that. The thing that stinks is Margot Robbie won't allow us to put on any multis, so she can only be on single autos, so that card can never happen.
All right, so I have to ask, because we haven't talked soccer, so are you domestic and European? Or just
no, so I'm almost no domestic. So I don't follow the MLS at all. I know nothing about the MLS.
We got to have to go to an MLS game in Cincinnati sometime.
I know nothing about the MLS. I follow all the European.
Club of choice?
So right now it is Manchester United, because there's a player named Jadon Sancho.
Jadon Sancho.
So Jadon Sancho played with Pulisic on Borussia Dortmund. So I fell in love with Sancho. He went to Man United. Then last year he went back to Borussia Dortmund for a spell, and now he's back at Man United. Hopefully he'll get along with the manager, because him and Ten Hag don't get along very well, apparently. But I think Ten Hag realized that he needs him, because he's going to get fired if his team doesn't win. So I love Man City just because, quite frankly, we have autograph deals with almost all of those players. And Holland and Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish, and so
I'm not a City fan solely because, and it's not the players standpoint, it's because 115 charges of FFP. Like, it's ownership that I got an issue with, not Holland and all that. So I'm a Liverpool supporter.
Okay, that's fair. I have a friend that's a Chelsea season ticket holder as well. And Chelsea was where Pulisic, played for a while. I really enjoyed Chelsea. Honestly, I'm more of a player guy, I would say. So I kind of have a couple of players, and I follow them around whatever team they're on.
If there's one I wish that anybody could get, and I think you guys would probably be the first ones to try over the other companies. I know he doesn't sign those, Mo Salah.
Yep.
We've
tried, for sure.
Mo said it's against, at least from what I've heard, Mo said it was against his religion.
He
used religion. He's like, that's why I won't sign.
I've never heard that specifically, but we have tried to get him. Some of these guys just aren't interested, and that's it is what it is.
And I heard it goes like this because with Liverpool, the guys never wear the same jersey twice. So when they change the jersey, like they'll change their jerseys at halftime. Liverpool launch them and then gives them away to kids and all that, or they'll sign them and give them away to kids and share. Like they use it to help build the soccer pyramid. And that's where I heard that he won't even sign for kids.
That's crazy
because he said it's full stop against it. That's why there's never been a Mo Salah auto in soccer. So because for me, the more I've dove in, because I started as an MLS guy at Cincinnati, because Cincinnati came onto the scene through USL, and in 4 years was in MLS. And we've become quickly within 5 years we're top 5 in MLS now. And then D'Lo Brown from WWE, who was an agent with Impact from wrestling, he was a big Liverpool guy. And that was kind of how I got introduced to European soccer.
Have you ever been to a European soccer match?
I have not been to a soccer match. When I went over and refed over in England, I did a tour of Germany and the UK in 2019. They were on international break, so I couldn't make it work. Like just the dates that they wanted me in for just wasn't going to work because of the international break. I did go take the tour of Anfield. I got to go on the pitch at Anfield. Got to go in the locker room. Did the whole nine. Went and ate at the restaurant at Anfield, and then did that. But hopefully, my goal is maybe next year I try to go do another tour, that same tour again. And I want to try to time it out with the soccer season to actually go to a match proper.
It's really incredible. I've gone to several Chelsea games because my friend that's a season ticket holder. I went to a Chelsea Dortmund Champions League game, and that was unlike anything that you see here in the U.S. because literally the cops line the two fan bases, and the fan bases are not allowed to go together. They can't populate together. They have separate concession stands. They actually bus the visiting fans in. So, like, if you're a Man City fan and you're playing, somewhere at Chelsea, the Man City fans can ride on the Man City buses, come to the game, and then they get right back on the bus and go, because otherwise it's just mass rioting. And we think about, like, the Yankees and Red Sox being rivals, and they go to games, they're all mixed together. Like maybe there's a fist fight or two, but like these guys literally hate each other.
Are you looking to go to the World Cup final?
I was really upset because it was down to Dallas and I think East Rutherford, and it ended up being there. I would love to go to a World Cup final for sure.
I don't know if my wife asked me that. I said, Beth asked me. I said, I don't know if I want to go solely on the fact because of the hooliganism. And to be honest, I've seen it because like Cincinnati's hosted some friendlies from the U.S. Men's National. But then when you look at like Copa America, like when they play Mexico, like they played Mexico here at Jerry World.
Yeah.
And like just seeing that, like they didn't mix the fans or anything. Like they don't have that grasp like they do over in Europe.
For sure.
And it's like, I don't know if I would want to go with it being here. Obviously, it's convenient for it to be here domestically.
Right.
But I don't know if I would want to because they're not thinking like that.
Admittedly, it might depend on who's in it.
Yeah.
Like if it's U.S. and England somehow, that'd probably be fairly civil.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's Brazil and Argentina, I don't know.
Like the Copa final down the Hard Rock, that was a nightmare.
Nightmare. Yeah.
So okay, we can talk as we go here. So let's do the rip. So guys, it's full. So we're gonna do this a little old school style. I've got to pull up the stuff on my phone. I'll just throw that over there. Take that. Do you want to turn it off? That way it doesn't pop up. So. Can I set this up and rotate? Look at that. All right. That's going to be a little bit of a balancing act, but we'll make it work. So let me do this. Let me go on my phone real quick and let me run the randomizer for you guys so you guys can see it. And yeah, they got me on the invoice. Perfect.
Nice.
That works.
Perfect.
So yeah, it takes care of that. So let me go over because I just did it on Google Drive. So that's ready to go. If Ben's still here, Ben, I'm doing it the way we did it back in Cleveland, where I had it already up on Google Drive. Let's see.
We get a Godfather run. We do have Al Pacino. We haven't ever done anything officially through Godfather because that's a license that's nearly impossible to get, but you never know.
Forget about it, autos. Exactly. That's probably as close you're going to get from Lee.
Unfortunately, we do not hire in Seattle. Sorry. We only hire in Dallas. We don't have anybody that works remotely.
Okay, let me get this up here. Go over here.
Yeah, I mean, the West Coast, interestingly enough, Dallas is like the headquarters of all the manufacturing for trading cards. Almost all the trading cards are printed in Dallas, whether they're from us, Panini, Topps, Fanatics. They all have offices here. Panini's headquarters is here. Their American headquarters is here. Fanatics/Topps has an office here now. So the vast majority of trading cards are here in Texas for whatever reason.
All right, guys, so let's do the random real quick. Let me see you guys can see this. So I've got the dice up. I've got the names up, and then I'll screenshot this and post this to District after we're done. I'll post it to Discord as well. They're saying bring me the collectible on the wall over there. They're seeing the Lincoln.
That's an actual real Abraham Lincoln full signature.
That's amazing, by the way.
So what we do is when we buy that stuff from auction houses, sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, you're fine. That's fine.
We hang them up until we use them for the cuts. It probably will upset people to know that we're going to cut up a document.
The
Beatles.
Yeah, there's a Beatles one on to my right, guys. The Babe Ruth one. Yeah, I'm still like.
So then what we'll do is we'll make a photocopy of that and put it back up so it still is presentable.
Yeah,
but we use the autograph.
That's phenomenal. All right, let's do the random, guys. So here's all the names, and let's roll the dice. There we go. Let's roll the dice 8 times, and then I'll screenshot this and send this over to Discord. So 1. Oh, hold on, I got 19. Who am I missing here? Hold on. Let me go back over to Drive. Who am I missing?
Yeah, it's a fun place to work, I got to say.
I said it earlier, like, we get to work with sports cards and non-sport cards. Like, what's wrong with this? Okay, hold on. Let me see where I'm missing here. Let me go back over here. So this was yesterday. Jade. All right, hold on. I'll do it this way. Listings. Oh, I should have had. No, it's 20. Why is it not giving me 19 names? Copy. Go back. Actually, no, just this. Go. Just edit. Give me a sec, guys. I'm going to work on the edit paste option here. Gives me Ryan as the top name, though. That can't be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It gives me 19 instead of 20. Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 through Ryan. Oh, come on. 10 through Ryan.
It's because Joe Colburn is in there twice.
Yeah, he has 2 spots.
I don't know if he...
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So here's my master list. That's 20 names, right?
No, you're missing a number 9.
Okay, let me find out who I'm missing, guys. I'm sorry. That's on me. I'm missing a 9. Hold on. Let me get over to the break. That's the other thing with District 2 is the ability to be able to float in and out of the app and see who got what. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see here. So who am I missing here? See all.
I think you need more technology in your hands.
I know. Yeah, I've got 3 things going here in my hands. Like, Fraley, Tom. There it is. I got it. It's Michael. I'm missing Michael Vanek. You see, like I've got like in my studio at home, it's like I've got 3 screens because like on my YouTube layout, like if I do a break by team, so the way I have my layout through OBS is you can actually put team with its name. So if you go like watch on YouTube, you can actually see who has what.
Oh, okay.
So for transparency, like you know what I mean. So
average time it takes for players to return. It depends on the player. Some of them are incredibly fast. Like for example, Shador Sanders. We overnighted his package yesterday. He got it today, and he said we'll have the autographs Monday. So some of the guys are super fast. Some of them take a little while. Typically, if it's not somebody that we really need, if it's longer than a couple of months, we cancel the deal because it's just not worth it. It's too much of a pain for products to wait and wait and wait and wait. But most of them are pretty good. Yeah. I would say the vast majority of them get them back within a month or 2.
Yep. All right, let's try this again, guys. So we're going to stick with 8. That was the number originally. Let's try it now. All right. 1. There's 20. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. All right. Good luck, guys. Last time. This is going to be the draft order. 8. So Ben's kicking it off. Ben, Mike, Joe, Ryan, Chris, Daniels, White, Ty, Chris Kelly, Joe, Tom, Mitchell, Ben Ehrlich, Jake, Tom, Jay, Michael Van Heck, Furtman, Olson, Jeremy Miller, and Joe. So, this is Ben's platform. This is Ben Midwest Box Breaks Ben. That's so that's what they're laughing at. Yeah, you continue to say that all day long. So Ben's like, I need Harrison Ford. Well, we're only doing half case. We have the other half case. If we get through this and we can get 20.
Honest, Harrison Ford is incredibly hard to get in this product.
Yeah, like I told you, I just pulled the first Eastwood auto was when we were doing that at the National.
Easier than Ford,
so,
though.
Guys, if we like this, we could do the other half case if we want. But I only posted half. So let me screenshot this real quick, and I'm going to put this over in Discord so everybody has it. Come on up. Always. Let's see here. Edit. And there's going to be, I'll put the timestamp just because.
Jay, we typically don't publish the odds only because we don't have a bunch of inserts and things like they do.
Give me 1 second.
So it's, if it's just posting the odds for like base cards versus insert autos, we don't really ever post that.
All right, give me 1 second here. Yeah, and I'll post the second one real quick. Hold on. This is the other thing too, is the abilities, because you're not tied to like if someone wants this, like they said, post the other half case, I can literally go through here and just boom. So that was 09. So I number all my breaks individually. So I started at 1, and this one will be 310 in 8 months.
Nice.
To kind of tell you like from a volume standpoint. So let's dive. So I'll post the other half case right now, guys. We'll put it on stage. Hold on. Let's see. Add.
That's funny. Drinks with Harrison Ford. How was he? I've never met him. He seems like he'd be a little standoffish, but maybe not.
Catch him on the wrong day.
Yeah.
Like I say that from like wrestling guys. It's like right day, wrong day. You know what I mean? Pop Century. If I can type. Century half case.
Midwest, we'd love that.
Yeah, we can. Once we're done, we talk and if you get you guys in, have your own platform as well. So let's see. I'm gonna put in. Nope, I don't need that. So we're gonna set it. I'm doing this.
I know we've tried to get Bobby Witt. We try to get more of them.
All right. Give me one sec here. I'm going to post the second half case, guys. We got enough in here. I figured we would. So come on up. Where is it? Nope. Did it open up yet? There it is. No, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Yeah, it's up. Plus. There it is. Stage. All right, guys. On stage is the second half case. We can do both half cases. So we'll start with that. So here's our case. Thank you again for hosting and having this. I appreciate it. You guys have, like I said earlier, you guys have been so great, so good to me. Like I figured with just coming down here and everything, I figured let's help with you guys. So, and Pop is a favorite of mine this year too. 1, 2. So we're just going to take straight off the top. 3, 4, and 5. All right, and I'll set the other half there. All right, make sure I don't pull any cords to do the balancing act here. So what did I do with the blade? There it is. All right, so here we go. So let's just take a look. All right, make sure you can see. Yeah, we're good. So 1. Yeah, I like when I'm talking about the two like it makes sense why you went to the other box option with this. But I love the box feel for this. Sure. All right, guys. So we're not just going to hide them. Let's do this. So box 1 of 5. Oh, please. Yes, please. And thank you. Yeah, I may keep a couple.
I owned a card shop for a long time.
I may keep a couple just to put these in to take home. So. I can give you something to take home. All right, cool. Thank you. So Jurassic World, Bryce Dallas Howard. If you have any fun facts or notes on these as we go, please share them away.
This is her first autograph card.
Really?
She never had a card before this, so this is a pretty cool thing.
Awesome.
And she signed inscriptions for that and for the Village and maybe one other one.
Awesome. All right. So that's box number 2. Now we've been talking about Sean Young all day today. So hold on. So Bryce Dallas Howard is actually 101. Yep. So Bryce Dallas Howard's a 101. I totally forgot these are numbered. I'm blanking. So 101 on the Bryce Dallas Howard. I'm going to set the 101s there. So Sean Young, Ace Ventura Pet Detective Scopes Ticket Auto, and that is 1 of 7. 1 of 7. I'm literally going to be shooting for the Merino out of this. Hopefully the case I have at home is going to be that. So number 3 is going to be Chrissy McNichol. So that is a blue. I'm calling it Scopes because it with the circles. I know you guys probably maybe have a different terminology. Kaleidoscope, yeah. Blue Kaleido to 6, 4 of 6. And then lastly, nice, Nev Campbell Starlet Auto. So Scream. Yeah. Nev Campbell Starlet Auto. And where's the numbering? There it is. Numbered up there. 3 of 3.
So all very low numbered.
Yeah, all numbered. So
an all female box.
An all female box too. Yeah. Yeah. That's phenomenal. So they're saying draft order, Jake. I posted it over in my Zebra Breaks part of the Discord to see where it is, and I'll post all the hits. So I'll get to that when I get back home. I'll post it all, and then the draft order. I'll repost the draft order, but I already have that posted in the squared circle, so everybody can take an early look at it, and then I'll work on it later of getting getting the pictures posted. I'll get those back in my studio when I have good lighting. So the hotel room for you guys. All right, so here we go. Box 2, and I already like the top of this. This is the one I'm gonna have to go after for eventually. So Peter Ostrom, Willy Wonka, inscription or scripted.
We really try with the scripted. What we did with a lot of these is we took autographs of some people that. If you get a Peter Ostrom and he looks like he does now and it's not inscribed, it's probably not worth a lot. But when we pair an inscription with a photo of him from the movie, it really adds to the collectability.
I agree, and I noticed that like with Tom Berenger.
Yep.
Like because some of them it look like him now, but some then are back to like the major, like for me Major League. Yep. You know what I mean? It works. So the Peter Ostrom is going to be to 6, 2 of 6. Card 2. Famke Janssen, Starlet. Yeah, so this is Nip Tuck.
From X-Men.
Yep, X-Men, the whole thing. Starlit Green Shimmer auto, and that is to 4/4. D. Wallace Stone, and that is silver.
ET,
Yep, ET. Yep. Silver Shimmer to 20, 13/20. And then, nice, Mark Wahlberg. Wow. Vinyl signs, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch auto.
That's a cool one.
And that's a 101 as well. 101 Wahlberg. Yeah, I pulled a couple of the Wahlbergs. Like I pulled one of the Pearl from the Departed.
I love the
and one of the early cases. I've never seen. This is my first look at the vinyl signs. So vinyl signs, Marky Mark.
A picture of him with his young kid.
Oh yeah, with the hat backwards. So Marky Mark. Vinyl signs. I'll mag this when I get back home, guys. The 101s I'll mag. You guys knew me the way I treat them. So that's two good boxes to start off this case. The collation, the way you guys did the collation with this, because this is case number, I think 6 for me. I've yet to see a bad case.
Yeah, I mean, we really, and that's one of the things that we have an advantage with hand collating. You know, we can make sure that, look, if your Pearl card is a big card, then maybe your, multi isn't as big, or, try and make every case as even as possible.
Yeah, and it's worked out. I love the way the collation worked out this year.
And it's even been box by box, like looking at it from, okay, if there's a card in there that's like that last box, for example, had the Mark Wahlberg, so the other 3 cards weren't amazing.
No.
But we knew that
it evens out though, across the board. Right. So, all right, box 3, we got vinyl signs, Richie Ramone. Purple, and that is going to be to 8, 2 of 8 for 1. I like this just because I've been watching his SNL stuff a little bit on YouTube. Pete Davidson, like, he did the one, y'all know me, you guys know I'm big LORNE. Like you took one of Eminem songs and turned it over to Lauren. So Blue Crystal Auto, and that is to 9, 6 of 9. They're asking, are the cards hand collated?
Yes, every single box is hand collated.
Yes, and they said the Mark Wahlberg, it should come with free Frazzle Wahlbergers. Julian Glover, Black Mojo, because it's hitting Black Mojo Auto, and that is 1 of 1.
Wow, that's nice.
Okay, I like it. And then last, and I think this is going to be a big one, Tim Curry. Yeah,
unfortunately, his autograph is not super great anymore.
Yeah, this unfortunately just...
And unfortunately, it's crazy. Like for everyone he signs, we have to shred about 1 or 2 because he can't stay on the sticker. And we actually use larger stickers for him as well.
I know. Yeah, I was looking at that. I noticed that. So the Tim Curry.
Help him stay on the sticker.
And that is to 6, 2 of 6. But the fact you guys still have the Tim Curry autos, once again, that's a huge thing. Like I've seen it once again because when I started ripping Leaf, especially for us at home, but for breaks as well, I'm going in looking in the future. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So someone said that. Yeah, they said someone asked. Maybe a Tim Curry with Clue instead of Rocky Horror.
Yep.
And then another one said, someone mentioned that Barbara Eden's auto was great.
Yes, it's fantastic. Still looks just like it used to.
Just like it used to, yeah. And that was great. Just like I Dream of Jeannie, Chips. I was just like, okay. Dick Van Dyke, yeah. It's a
Clint Eastwood.
Eastwood. When I saw Eastwood's, I was just like, man, that's really good. The crazy
part in this product to me is the Gene Hackman, Al Pacino, Clint Eastwood triple.
Yeah,
like that's insane.
That's and I saw it for me when I pulled the Rocky Drago. You could tell that like Stallone had trouble staying on the sticker.
Right. Yeah,
but for
me,
the fact that that Dolph Lundgren actually put the Drago inscription on, I was like, this is amazing. It was such a great card for the Pearl, and I have yet to see one of those hit eBay. I've seen the booklets hit eBay. The Pearls haven't hit. Whoever's got them are keeping them.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what you get with a lot of Pop Centuries. A lot of the people are buying it to actually collect it.
Yes. Draft order Jake is over in Discord, top to bottom, 1 to 20. So Little Dirk's, this is box 4. Little Dirk, and that is going to be to 15, 5 of 15. And then we just mentioned, we just mentioned this.
Oh, no, what is this?
Donna Miles, Retro TV, Knots Landing, 1980 to 1989, Kaleido Auto. to 15, 6 of 15. That's a new one because I know I pulled the Barbara Eden. I pulled a couple others out of retro in our breaks. Rich the Kid, vinyl signs.
I'm going to guess that this last card is good because there's 2 wrappers in this box.
Okay, so hold on. So I'm going to put Barbara Eden. I'm going to save it.
If I had to guess, it's going to be pretty good.
So this is to 4, 4, 4. And then behind Donna Miles is going to be Ron Perlman.
Not bad. Not as good as I would have thought it was.
No, but still, it's Ron Perlman.
Right.
Ron Perlman, Pink Kaleido auto. And that is 1 of 4.
Nice.
1 of 4. Okay. I like it. Yeah, that was a solid one, too. Like, once again, once you get, like...
A little dark sells pretty well.
Yeah, I noticed that, too. I know, like, Quavo and Offset, too, do really well because... we've started her with that, and she got like the ones I pulled a Quavo and an Offset. I think I pulled the Quavo 101 vinyl signs. Yeah, and so I got it graded and it got PSA 10, and I'm like, we'll just throw that in there. So, guys, we got 9 left. All right, we need the 9 filled. We'll get it, but this is box 5.
Enough, so far, we haven't hit a multi or a pearl.
No, which means the pearl, it's going to be further down, which means it's going to be in that second half case.
And there's a multi and a pearl in every case.
See, I knew about the pearl, but I didn't know there was a multi in every case.
One multi, and if the pearl is multi, that doesn't count. So there's 1 metal multi in every case.
Okay.
Now, sometimes it's just a duel, and it's not necessarily a huge chase.
No, but it's...
So there's 2 A-hit autos.
Okay.
There's a pearl and a multi in every case.
Okay.
So that's the way it was collated. Now the A hits, like Wahlberg I think he was one of the A's. So that's probably an A. But in terms of the other hits, there's a pearl and multi in every case.
I love it. And the second half just sold out. So we'll rip the second half after. All right. So this is the last for the first half.
And you don't have the pearl.
And we don't have the pearl. So the pearl's in the second half. Yep. They're always the 130s, if I'm not mistaken. So last one. Here, let's ask the question. Do you guys do the sorting in-house to ensure that the multis and the pearls are in every case?
Yeah, we hand collate everything.
Hand collate, yes. Yeah. So that way
me and Greg hand collated all of it.
There you go. So Dynamite, Jimmy J.J. Walker, Good Times, Retro TV, Blue Shimmer, and that is to 6, 2 of 6. Here, we were just talking about this earlier. Camilla Moore, Horror Inc., Red Mojo. That's right up the alley there. The Red Mojo, and that is going to be a 101. So we're what, 4 101s in on this so far? 4 out of 5 in the first half case. Okay, so Sammy Giancola from Jersey Shore. I'm not a big Jersey Shore, but I get it. I know there is a market. Yep. There is a big market.
And there's actually a 5-way autograph, I think, that sells for a lot.
I pulled one of them out of it. So, and this is going to be Blue Kaleido, and we got a dual auto next up. 2 of 10. And so, no reason to call her names. All right, so this is going to be a dual auto, guys. Nice. Kim Zolciak, Bierman, and Brielle Breerman, co-stars, dual auto.
I think they're from one of the Housewives.
Yes, it's I think it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and not Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. Dual scopes auto to 4, 1 of 4, Atlanta. Okay. Yeah. Someone said I did pull I pulled a 5-way and a 4-way out of that from Jersey Shore out of that. So, and then this is Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. So we have someone in here that knows it. So, all right. So that's the first half case. Can I have those real quick? And let's recap the first half case here, and then we'll dig into the second. So guys, for time's sake, I'll do the random for the second half. I'll do that when I get home because it's going to take me, I don't want to take 10, 15 minutes to type up the draft order, but I'll do it when I get back and we'll do it live so you guys can see it. We'll just rip the second half. So Perlman, Pink Kaleido to 4. Got Donna Miles, Retro TV, Knots Landing to 15. Rich the Kid, Vinyl Signs, Green Kaleido to 4. Lil Durk, Light Blue Shimmer to 15. Tim Curry, Blue to 6. Pete Davidson, Light Blue Crystal. I got you, Jay. To 9. Yeah, you think that would be favorable to you at that point. Richie Ramone, Vinyl Signs to 8. Julian Glover to 101. I'm going to put the 101s on a stack on the side. So Peter Ostrom, Willy Wonka, Inscription scripted to 6. Famke Janssen, Starlet, Green Shimmer, and that is to 4. D. Wallace Stone to 20. The big one, Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, and that is the 101 Vinyl Signs. Nev Campbell, Starlet. And that is, where is it, to 3. Chrissy McNichol, Blue Kaleido to 6. Sean Young, Movie Ticket, Pink Kaleido to 7. And then Bryce Dallas Howard, Inscription Scripted Auto 101. The Biermans, I'm just going to say it, Co-Stars, Purple Kaleido Auto to 4. Sammy Giancola from Jersey Shore, Blue Kaleido to 10. Camilla Moore Horror Inc. Red Mojo to 101. And then the Jimmy J.J. Walker Retro TV, and that is to 6 to round out the first half case. Not a bad half case.
Not bad at all.
What's going on, Daniels? How are you? So there's the first half case.
But we definitely have the Pearl.
Yep, Pearl's going to be in the second half.
There may be another multi because that multi wasn't a huge multi. So when there's not a big one, a lot of times there's a second one.
Went up the second one.
And
so
we should have an A hit as well.
Nice. So I'll do the hit draft. I'll do the randomization for this when I get home on Sunday. I'll post it in Discord for you guys so you guys can see it. But for sake of time, because we're here, we're just going to rip the second half. So, all right. So this is going to be 6 to 10. And I'll put plastic in it. All right. So box 6 and the Pearl's right there. So we're kicking it off with the big boy. We're kicking it off with the Pearl here in box 6. Yes, there was the mention of the lenticular. Yeah, that's in Pro Set Football that came out today, which we'll have next week.
Pro Set Model Football has lenticular.
Yep. So Tom Skerritt, Blue Auto.
Alien.
Alien to 6, 5 of 6. Annabeth Geesh, Silver Shimmer Auto to 20, 16 of 20. Top Gun too, yeah, for Skerritt. Yeah, so I forgot about that. I like this. Jeanette Goldstein, Terminator 2, Inscription Auto.
Also an Aliens.
And Aliens 2, and that is to 10, 4 of 10. All right.
It's like a duel.
Yep, and we're going to do the Pearl now. 3 of 3. Oh. Nice. Ewan McGregor, Ray Park, from Star Wars. Yeah, signatures 2. Dual Auto to 3, 3 of 3. For the second case, holy cows, that's wows awesome. Is coming across the board for this one. Yeah, that's cool great. Fun. That's phenomenal. I actually, this is the first Ewan I've pulled. Okay. I know I've not pulled a Ewan McGregor out of pop yet this year. So yeah, I think that's going to be guaranteed the #1 pick on the second half case. For sure.
Never know. We got 4 boxes to go.
These signature 2s, man, because this is what I have for the Rocky Drago, and I put it in a 180 in a mag. Like, I'm not going to send it away to get graded, but it's sitting in my.
Those cards are not really made for grading.
Yeah, I set the separate. I started a separate like a little latch box for her Pop Century in mind to literally just I start putting them away, because this stuff has just been wildly. Like, once again, I say it every time I stream. This is by far, and I think Ryan even said it too. Like, this is probably the best Pop Century product you've seen in all the years that you guys have been doing it. So, all right, Quavo Vinyl Signs is kicking us off here on box 2, and that is going to be Silver Kaleido to 25, 4 of 25. More Chevy Chase, more Chevy Chase. That's let's see here. Okay, you probably will be able to say that. Laney Kazan, Green Crystal Auto to 4, 2 of 4. I'm not familiar with Laney. What do you know? What her link is?
I'm not familiar either, honestly.
I will full figure.
We do know she's not a relative of Elia Kazan, the famous director, because we looked that up.
Okay. Becca Tobin, Blue, and that is going to be to 20, 5 of 20. And if I saw what this back card is, this is a guy that you will like, and it's one that I've been telling you about. And yes, it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Avengers Infinity War, Pink Crystal Movie Ticket Auto. And that is a 1 of 1. 1 of 1 Cumberbatch. That's especially Infinity War.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So I've seen his autos, like the full name was, but like I think you guys are outside. Like, he's done a little bit of the Marvel. Did Rittenhouse, and that's it. And then you guys got him.
Upper deck now.
Really?
Yep.
I'm sorry for the Marvel license, obviously, but it's not a lot.
He doesn't have a ton of stuff.
No. So that's another one. So that's 2. That's a big one, and that is the first Benedict Cumberbatch auto I've pulled out of Pop too. Like, his stuff is not easy to pull either.
Right.
Like, but that was like stuff like that. Like, it's just like great. Like, what was I gonna say? I know Rittenhouse does Doctor Who, but still, like,
They did. Topps has it now, I believe.
So, because I was thinking like going through the doctors and stuff like that, like even in the movie ticket idea, like if like going like through the old some of the older doctors and stuff like that, in the same vein as like, with the Infinity Wars. So, yeah, Sherlock too.
Yep.
I'll ask this. We talked about it earlier, Adam. Do we have a release date for Bronx Legacy?
We don't yet because the MEM products typically take longer to make sure that they are on a timely schedule. We try not to release their release date too early. We have a tentative one in-house.
Yeah.
I think I want to say it's November.
Okay.
Either October or November. But again, those ones take a lot longer production cycle-wise. Because we got to cut the MEM and then make the cards.
Yeah, when I get the email, trust me, Vertman, I will tell you he's a big Yankees collector. So he drooling over last year's, and I was like, yeah, this year's is coming because you guys put out the tweets with some of the preview images on Bronx Legacy. So
it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good. Box 3 for the second half. Retro TV, Barney Miller, Hal Linden, 1975 to 1982 green Kaleido auto, and that is to 1 of 2. Yeah. I agree completely. All right. Brandy Roderick, Inscription, Playmate of the Year 2001, blue auto, and that is to 15, 9 of 15. Mira Sorvino, blue Kaleido auto, and that is to 6, 1 of 6. And then Carmen Electra, Starsky and Hutch, silver, Inscription auto, and that is to 25, 20 of 25.
That's nice.
That's a nice close. Sorvino, Brandy, and Carmen all in back to back. Like that's a great, like coming off of the Cumberbatch. Like that's a solid box throwing those 3 back to back.
And 2 inscriptions too.
Bingo, yeah.
I think some of the inscriptions are undervalued right now.
I agree.
A lot of people do not like signing inscriptions, so that's not something they're going to continue to do.
Yeah, that's going to be short lived. So.
It's hard enough to get them to sign. It's much harder when we tell them they got to write a character name or something.
Yeah, especially, but there's ones like, once again, we talked like Hellraiser. Like it looks like he enjoyed doing it.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean.
And I think some of them do, and like some of them still really care about their fans.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is for their fans.
Yeah, exactly. So, box 4. Here we go. Going back to the Jersey Shore, Ronnie Magro, silver shimmer to 2 of 2. Paul Williams, and that is what Lovers Dreamers? Lovers and Dreamers.
He's a composer.
Yep. Vinyl signs, Purple Crystal auto to 5, 3 of 5. I forget his name, but I'm going to pop for this. When I found out, when I was looking through the checklist, the guy who did Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Like for Nintendo.
Martinet. Charles
Martinet. So fun fact, my aunt on my dad's side of my family, her son wrote the music to the original Mario.
Oh, wow. That's great.
So I was like, when I saw that, I was like, man, I was like, this is great.
I think he drew characters on most of his stickers.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So number 3 is going to be Joyce DeWitt, Three's Company, 77 to 84, green crystal auto. That's a big one. To 2, 1 of 2. And you guys are going to like this. You guys are going to like this duel. Tom Folsom, you're going to like this. Patrick Stewart, Famke Janssen, X-Men co-stars, silver Kaleido, dual auto. Yep, I got it. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I saw it, Mike. That's perfect. That'll help me. So dual auto, 1 of 1. That's wild. That's pretty awesome. So Cumberbatch and X-Men duel in this half. And the Pearl. And Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch in the first half. Yep. Like from a case standpoint, this is amazing. So that's awesome. My brother's a big Trekkie. I pulled one of the first box that we ripped, the Pop Century. We ended up pulling the red Kaleido Patrick Stewart 101 auto.
We have William Shatner inscription cards coming in next year's Pop Century.
Yes, I like it.
Captain Kirk on all of them.
Oh, phenomenal! Is that the first time? I think that's the first.
He did it for Rittenhouse a couple times.
Oh, that's gonna be a real big chase.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be real good. So here we go. Last box on the second half. So we got one more, guys, right here.
Next year's Pop Century has more on card. So Clint Eastwood on card, Joe Pesci on card,
All right.
Inscriptions of Shatner on card.
Yes.
So,
I like it.
Chevy Chase inscriptions on card.
Yes. Someone said just need the bridge crew from TNG.
Right.
Yeah, eventually. So here we go. Last box, guys. Jeff Garland blue Kaleido auto to 545. Lil Baby vinyl signs blue auto to 10, 7 to 10. Jason Isaacs, I like it.
Harry
Pink.
Potter.
Yep, Harry Potter. Pink shimmer.
It's like we have an inscription on the back.
Yep, pink shimmer auto to 7, 1 of 7, and nice Ron Howard Opie.
Awesome.
Ron Howard Opie inscription, green crystal auto.
That might be a 101
for the one.
Nope,
it is not. To 4, 3 of 4, but still,
that's
like
awesome.
the Opie, like where are you gonna find that at? Like, so. Someone, Jason Isaac, also Star Trek. He killed a bird once. All right, guys, let's recap this as well. Because obviously, this case as a whole, I think just kind of just nailed it right out of the park. Ron Howard, Opie to 4. Jason Isaacs, pink shimmer, auto to 7. Lil Baby vinyl signs to 10. And then the Jeff Garland, blue Kaleido to 5. Joyce DeWitt, Three's Company to 2, Paul Williams vinyl signs to 5, Ronnie Magro 2 to 2, Carmen Electra, Starsky and Hutch to 25, Mira Sorvino blue Kaleido to 6, Brandy Roderick to 15, Hal Linden, Barney Miller to 2, Becca Tobin to 20, Lainey Kazan to 4, Quavo vinyl signs Kaleido to 25, Tom Skerritt to 6.
She's from My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Okay, that makes sense. That would make a ton of sense. Yeah, exactly. T2, Jeanette Goldstein, Terminator to 10. Annabeth Geesh to 16 to 20. Famke Janssen, Patrick Stewart, Pop Century Co-Stars, 101 dual auto. Benedict Cumberbatch, Avengers Infinity War, ticket stub, 101 auto. And then Ewan McGregor, Ray Park, Signatures 2, Star Wars, 3 of 3, Pearl auto. Like, just yeah, great case. Yeah, multiple great case across the board. So guys, I'll just come over here and we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
So that was a great case.
Yeah,
honestly.
It was good for sure.
I think in the grand scheme of things. So guys, another request for the future, Steve Martin.
We've tried to get Martin Short. He's darn near impossible.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you guys.
Sure.
So guys, that'll do it for me here in Dallas. Thank you very much for having me in the hospitality and allowing me to do the rip here. And then if there's an opportunity, you guys, to come to district, we would love to have you.
We can take a look at it for sure.
So absolutely, guys. So Berlik, I'll work on that later tonight and get it up. I need to get pictures up. I'll start doing that later. So I won't do that right now while we're here. So So thank you.
I love it.
So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'm back home Sunday.
Appreciate that, guys.
Yep.
Thanks.
We're gonna be back Tuesday. Pro set football for Tuesday. I'll get it posted up on Sunday, and we'll start that because I'm getting a Dan Marino, Sean Young auto no matter what.
Love it.
So from me to you guys, thank you guys so much. Ben wants a stapler. No, he has a red stapler. No one's taken his red stapler yet. So rounding third and heading from home. I'll see you guys on Tuesday when I get back home. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Thanks for coming.